This is crazy, man. You people are stupid. And even allow the oligarchy to play you once again. Those stupid ass pecker necks thinking they lost power to Obama. Come on, man. He's a half white Kenyan who was raised by a racist white man in a majority white neighborhood who didn't even touch black chicks until he became involved in politics. And unfortunately, you silly niggity jiggities buy into this nonsense also, thinking they've somehow inched their way into a better position under white supremacy, an infinitesimal plod towards the secret African American goal of becoming Caucasian, under the guise of seeking equality. But they ain't fooling nobody. And what these clowns don't realize is that Obama was put in power for the same reason all the other assholes have since Nixon. And that's to further the powers of the government. See, the retardicans always talk about smaller government, and then they come around and put out shit like the Patriot Act. And then pieces of shit like Obama and Bill Clinton come in, and then they add steroids to that shit. Does anybody notice this? Carter was the same way. These people, all they do is further expand the powers of the government and benefit their paymasters, who are now directly in charge under Trump. All these candidates are cucks for Israel, so that's just irrelevant. Oh, excuse me. They're trying to make Trump into some kind of fake anti-hero by attacking him, which was nothing but giving him free publicity and making him even more relevant in the media over his corporatist policies, while pretending to be a populist to people who were too stupid to realize he was a populist. Not that Clinton was any better, she was worse. And she would have done all this shit under a cloak, and you niggity jiggities would have loved it. Just like Obama, he'll put out something called like the Freedom and Benefits Act, and then you look at the data, you look at the fine details, and find out he's fucking you. But you never do. You'll make excuses for him because he's a mulatto. See, this guy, Trump's not a fucking populist. He's a corporatist, just like every other asshole. And you'll see his true colors in his negotiations with NAFTA and net neutrality, which is already looking sketchy as fuck. And if it'll turn into something that's similar to the TPP emerges, we'll see how that plays out. Because all that was a deal to try to fuck China, and it didn't work. That's why they put out so much media to shut that down. Regardless, Obama expanded the executive branch while stripping us of our rights, expanded the murderous drone campaign, and increasing the surveillance state tenfold. All while stomping out whistleblowers like Chelsea Manning and independent journalists like Julian Assange using the Espionage Act, and now fostering in this whole fake news hysteria as a pretext to pass draconian censorship laws that would effectively silence dissidents and stop people from exposing corporatist government agendas, such as America arming ISIS at the behest of Israel, only to give them medical and AR support in South Syria, as well as the trading guns and ammunition for land in the Golan Heights, kidnapping Hugo Chavez in 2002, only to have him reinstated by the people who didn't want a U.S. pawn, the coup of the democratically elected Prime Minister in Iran in 54, the installation of Pinochet in 73, the Gulf of Tonkin false flag attack that led us into Vietnam. The war is taking place right now, boots on the ground, murdering people with this color in Africa, 50 African nations as we speak, the coup caught on tape, an installation of neo-Nazis in Ukraine by the United States and NATO. It's true. Saudi Arabia and Qatar funding ISIS, and the State Department helping them transfer funds to Al-Qaeda, and Al-Nusra Front via NATO, they got popped, and Turkey before Turkey stopped, which is why they're being attacked via proxy right now. The Nigerian government being infiltrated by Shell Oil, America creating radical terrorists as we know them today by teaching them to be staunch Islamist fundamentalists in these madras schools for the purpose of battling the atheist USSR, and of course the United States providing logistics and transportation in the form of Toyota trucks as non-lethal aid to the FSA, which was proven to be Al Qaeda, who eats hearts, kills journalists who keep exposing them, kills faggots if that's something that matters to you. Same Al Qaeda who somehow knew how to form a central bank in Libya, as well as organizing ceasefires to help the Saudis rearm terrorists while Israel bombs pro-Assad troops the entire time. Yeah, I mean, people don't like to talk about this. They want to act like it doesn't exist, but the Americans, they're trying to cover it up by controlling the net, by controlling what comes on TV, by labeling things fake news, by booting people off of Instagram and Google. Because look, not too long ago, Erdogan almost got assassinated by the USA. Now, why did Jack and Daddy almost get assassinated? It was because he assisted Russia in ceasing to provide ISIS with weapons and safe haven, because they were coming across the border from Turkey. And they accomplished this by exposing the CIA agents in the Turkish governments, like those two jackasses who shot down the Russian fighters trying to spark a war between the two states, plus a civil war using Kurdish and Wahhabi foreign mercenaries pawned in the region in a half-assed bid to destabilize all secular Mohammedan nations. This is also why Turkey, along with Russia and Iran, are now pushing USA out of Syria, along with their Wahhabi and Zionist puppets. Because that's all Wahhabism is. Wahhabism, or Salafist, whatever you want to call it, that shit ain't nothing but Arab Zionism. Yeah, see, and everybody knows this shit. It's in the media. I'm not preaching to the gospel, but they're keeping it out of the mainstream. The U.S. government is giving Israel billions in tax dollars. What's the new number? What, 38 fucking billion? They're giving them some of them bitches 38 billion in tax dollars disguised as aid. What the fuck do they need aid for? They're stealing our technology and selling it to other countries. They're undercutting American weapons manufacturers, which I don't give a shit. And fucking you guys over. They're running over white chicks with bulldozers. They're putting niggas in internment camps. And these motherfuckers need aid. Aid that they turn around and use to bribe Congress via their lobbies, which is nothing but money laundering, and to buy weapons from contractors that they use to reverse engineer to undercut people to murder civilians for throwing rocks. Or to breaking the little kid's arm for throwing rocks, or throwing them in prison for 12 years. And we know about the USA massacred thousands of Libyans and African migrant workers for France. It's in the Clinton emails. All to prevent Gaddafi from ending the colonial tax that he uses to prop up their own economy by leeching off of its former African francophone nations, which are still colonies. And he covered up the gun runner Chris Stevens' deserved execution by saying that the homosexual was killed over a YouTube video done in English that had barely 1,800 hits at the time of his death. And all under the guise of an imaginary war on terrorism. The government and its paymasters want to keep this information away from the general public at all costs. At any damn cost. Ah, shit, I lost my spot. We're going to continue this shit at a later date. Bitch.